I can feel a warm sunshine on my face as it sets in the sky. The light waves are hitting up against the shoreline and the wind is blowing lightly. Well, that sounds like a setup for some fiction novel, but it's real here in Cat Island. Good morning and welcome to the Morning Edition. I'm Keishla Adderley. Thanks so much for joining us here live from the Fountain Bay Resort here in Cat Island. A beautiful setup here. The scenery is awesome. And it's one of the options if you want to come down to the island for a visit. I suggest it. Well, we're going to get it started with the weather conditions. It's expected to be another beautiful day. It'll get up to the high 90s, light winds, great for boating today. But let's take a look quickly and see what the weather is like elsewhere. This weather report is sponsored by Bank of the Bahamas, the Bank of Solutions. Well, it's another beautiful day here in Cat Island. We're going to throw it now to our Catherine Gomez. You don't think about traffic so much when you come to Cat Island, but in just a couple of days, it's going to be overrun with vehicles and people here as the island gets set for its annual regatta. Let's take a look.
The traffic report is sponsored by Bahamas First. First in insurance. Today, tomorrow.
Rise and shine, Bahamas. Did you know that nearly 1 million people die from traffic accidents each year? Let's talk about speeding. I'm joined by Sergeant Stewart on Queens Highway, Cat Island. How are you today?
I am good, and how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. So have you had a lot of traffic accidents because of speeding?
We've had one fatality because of speeding. It occurred just at the rear of us, where if you see the curve, a lot of people take that curve with traveling north, and they end up on the southern side of the street, thus going into the lamp pole or into the bushes. But we've had one fatality so far.
I'm so sorry to hear that. So what can motorists do? What is your advice?
My advice to motorists is, especially if you're not familiar with the island, take your time, get familiar with the streets, and no speeding. You don't need speeding on this street. There's minimal traffic, so you could get from A to B within minutes.
Now, I know a lot of people might be thinking, hey, Cat Island has a lot of long roads. They want to get to their destination in a couple minutes. What is your advice?
My advice, Rome wasn't built in a day. It just doesn't take you long to get from any point of the island to the other point. There's no traffic, no lamp pole, no traffic lights. We have one roundabout, no traffic lights. So there's nothing to worry about.
Thank you so much, and I hope people will take your good advice. Anyway, back to you, Keishla.
All right, well, right now we're going to go to our top story for the morning. Senators debated and passed a compendium of amended bills in the upper house yesterday. The bills which were read for a third time and passed include the Nonprofit Amendment Bill, the Anti-Terrorism Amendment Bill, the International Obligation Economic Ancillary Measures Bill, the Register of Beneficial Ownership Act, and the Investment Funds Amendment Bill, a bill for an act to amend the Register of Beneficial Owners Act also passed yesterday. Government leader in the Senate, Attorney General the Honorable Carl Bethel, had this to say.
These bills will probably make us, if we were to be reevaluated, compliant in at least two more of the FATF recommendations 6 and 7, which would probably take us to 32 or 33, largely compliant. And they would also address two of the immediate outcomes, which are implementational measurements, 10 and 11. They would fully meet the requirements of IOs 10 and 11. There are 11 immediate outcomes that go towards implementation.
Independent Senator Renard Henfield threw his support behind the compendium of bills, focusing on the Nonprofit Amendment Bill, declaring that there was wide consultation with members of civil society.
There is Dr. Anthony Hamilton of Civil Society Bahamas, who was able to bring tens of civil society organizations together since the bill was tabled in the Senate in December of last year. And he's kept them together up to last week, Wednesday, in another meeting with the Attorney General in his office to ensure collaboration rather than conflict.
Bahamian banks must put more emphasis on pursuing credit delinquencies more aggressively. This from Financial Stability Reports is released by the Central Bank of the Bahamas. Governor of the Central Bank, John Roll, also noted the need for the banking industry to address some concerns if they're to continue in the pattern of recovery.
I think it's below 9% of the total loans, private sector loans. That figure was about 12%, and I think at one point about 14%. So we've done a good job in reducing it. But internationally, if your delinquency rate is even at 5%, that is a terrifying number. And so when we say, yes, it's being reduced, and we say we want to see it further reduced, we're thinking about getting really back into the comfort zone that we would like to see.
All right, now to some fun stuff as we take in all the elements here at the Fountain Bay Resort in Fountain Bay, Cat Island. I'm joined by proprietor of Fountain Bay Resorts, Mr. Ezra Russell. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Keisha, and good morning, Bahamas.
Now, I slept like a baby last night in that bed in that beautiful room you provided for us. Tell us about the property, how many rooms and what the amenities are like.
Fountain Bay it's a luxury resort in the beautiful island of Cat Island. We try to bring our rental units home away from home to make you comfortable. So your bed that you sleep in is orthopedic mattress, is queen size. Everything is white, everything is clean. We give you all the amenities that when you leave home, you wouldn't even know you're away from home. We give you that tranquil. So Fountain Bay consists of 21 rooms. We are the largest hotelier in the southeast islands of the Bahamas. And Fountain Bay have so many other pieces add to it. We can take you down to the swimming pigs. We can take you deep dropping. We can give you bone fishing, take you on the flats. We can take you out sport fishing. We can take you scuba diving. I mean, we just have it all here at our clubhouse, one of the finest dining in Cat Island.
Well, I'm going to test that out tonight. Believe you me. But do you get the sense that people have an appreciation of the tourist attraction that exists here? It's a beautiful island. So many dimensions to it. Do people know the full scope? Do you think?
No. One of our main issues here is trying to get the Ministry of Tourism to put an information or a tourism bureau in Cat Island to help us to market. Marketing costs a whole lot of money. And once we can market one of the most beautifulest islands in the Bahamas, Cat Island is next and poted for a big development. And this is what we want. We want Bahamians to take advantage of this hotel boutiques in these family of islands. We need to take our place on the global market, and Cat Island is now doing that with Bahamians. You have Rollers, you have Fountain Bay, and then you have Ocean Dreams. They are all owned by Cat Islanders and the indigenous Bahamians.
What do tourists say when they come? Is there something perhaps that they leave with that they enjoy most about the island?
One of my experience with one of our guests that leave Fountain Bay, she was ready to go to the airport, and I saw her sitting out there on the beach, and she was just crying. So I thought something happened. I just went over to her and I said, "Mom, can I assist you? What's going on?" She said, "I'm getting ready to leave and I don't want to leave." She said, "This is just peace, and the wind and the air is just so precious to me. I don't want to go." She said, "I had an illness when I came here, and by swimming in the ocean and by getting this fresh air, I'm feeling much better. I don't want to go back to New York."
Well, you'll have her back as many times as she wants, right?
Oh, definitely. We asked her to spend an extra night, and I tell her, "Listen, don't worry about the airplane ticket. We have a plan. We can fly you back to Nassau anytime you want to catch your flight." And she just ended up staying an additional night. She didn't want to go, so her husband just said, "Hey, we're going to spend one more night."
All right, sounds wonderful. Thank you very much, Mr. Russell.
Thank you.
Well, we're going to take a break right now, but before we go, we want to say a special thank you to Mr. Alfred Moss and the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources. And when we come back, I'll be jamming in the kitchen. We'll explain. Stay with us, the morning edition. We'll be right back.
Look, it's simple. Fidelity can consolidate all your bills with our debt consolidation loan. Give you one monthly payment and money in your pocket.
So let me get this straight, Miss Financial Coach. You say something about cash in my pocket?
Yes.
And a savings plan with 5% interest? Wow! Finally! A bank that's looking out for me! What you want me to sign?
That's not all. We also offer competitive interest rates and free financial coaching.
Miss Fidelity, you ain't hear me. Where do I sign?
I lived in fear for my life. I lived in fear for my children. I lived in fear of how I'd provide for them. I thought that he would change when he promised he would, and I forgave him every time he said that he was sorry. I became devalued as a human being until one day I ceased to exist as one.
Let's talk. Call the Bahamas Crisis Center's free 24-hour hotline at 328-0922. Sometimes a conversation can change a life.
My teacher say I have hate in my heart, that I am no good, that I like to fight too much. Who does she think put it there? In my house, if you question Daddy, you get a black eye. In my house, a fist is power.
Let's talk. Call the Bahamas Crisis Center's free 24-hour hotline at 328-0922. Sometimes a conversation can change a life.
Hey, have you heard? ZNS is everywhere you are when you download the new ZNS app. Whether you're on the move or just kicking back. Miss something on the news? It's there. Want to keep up with a live update? It's there. Or just want to listen to your favorite station? It's there too. Download the app now from the App Store and Google Play Store.
Welcome back to the Morning Edition live from Cat Island. Well, Family Islanders are known to be loving people, and as such, they have instituted a children's home here for some of the less fortunate among us. Our Catherine Gomez visited with them this week.
Children lose their smiles when an orphanage becomes their home. However, as I walked into the Old Bite Mission Home and Orphanage, it was apparent that the children have not lost their smiles to their circumstances.
Well, here at the facility, what we do is the kids are involved in the day-to-day activities. They're involved in the cleaning, the preparing of food, they do their homework, they're involved in church, they do with choir, they do with devotion, and then they have their playtime. So they're very actively involved in anything the community has to offer, and they ask of their service. They are welcome to go as well.
Administrator Cindy Moss says their goal is to prepare the children for a fulfilling future.
Well, our goal is mainly to have all the kids make sure that they focus on the education, because that's important to them. That's what they have to rely on. So our thing is we really try to encourage the kids to study, learn, focus, and they tend to do quite well. You know, we have some that make the 3 point, some that are, gradually coming up. And what we find is that some of the kids that come to us, they need that more one-on-one, and they tend to get it here because the staff tend to do a very great job of assisting them.
Moss says she is especially grateful for the Rotary Club of Boca Raton, who has assisted them for over 11 years. Child caretakers Geraldine Moss and Desiree Wilson says they love the children as their own.
I don't have any kids, but they are my own. I've been here a year and it's a year and a half. I get to learn them, get to love them, I give them extra care. Well, as a childminder, it's important because they're out there parents right now. So it's important that we act like a parent to them, love them like a parent would.
The children's faces weren't able to be shown, but I had the pleasure of seeing their smiles amongst their trials. Catherine Gomez, Morning Edition.
Well, when we think of the family islands, we think food, right? From the savory to the sweet. Well, Margaret Smith can satisfy any sweet tooth with her delightful jams. I watched her in the kitchen yesterday as she gave this great demonstration. It smells so good.
Yes. The thing about guava, I think we need to find a way to make a fragrance out of it. Honestly, if you put guava in a room, it smells up the room and it becomes unbearable because it's so strong. Potent, exactly.
Sounds tempting, but for now, Cat Island guavas are the perfect potion for a sweet staple of island living.
Go into this.
Margaret Smith traded city life for Old Bite after retiring from a career in psychotherapy and relationship counseling. This marriage made in jam lovers' heaven. You don't have to measure anymore. You're a little free-handed with that. You just have to touch.
Yeah. After you've been doing it a while, it becomes a little easier. I'm going to add a little bit of lemon juice, and sometimes I do a little bit of grated ginger. Ginger is something that is really good. It kicks up any kind of flavor.
And you only need a little.
Just a little. Yeah, I have my little ginger here. I just grate some. I'm
not that bottled stuff.
No. Fresh ginger.
After some time and the right temperature, mission accomplished.
And then it's going to bubble up, really huge bubbles to really show that it's finished. And of course, to make it like this is. Of course, I've already taken some of it out, but it's going to show how that's the finished product there. See how nice that jam just comes together. Yeah. Okay.
So we're going to try this special Johnny cake I was raving about with some of this jam, fresh out of the pot.
So we're going to...
Okay. Got a nice helping on there.
Yeah. Okay.
And let's do the taste. Perfection. Perfection.
I'm glad, yeah.
Listen, I can still taste that. It was really good. Thanks a lot, Margaret Smith. Well, you can't come to Cat Island without doing a little crabbing. Yes, there are crabs here in Cat Island. And on Sunday night, we went on a crab catching adventure. And let's just say it was interesting.
It's a bumpy ride, but we are beginning our trek. Keishla and I, late night crabbing. Who will catch the most? The competition is on. Before we make our trek into the wild, we have hired the undercover, under-mask crab guy. Any techniques Keisha and I needs to know before we go and catch these 3 dozen crabs?
Oh yes. When you go into the woods, you have to be very silent. That's number one, because if the crabs hear you, then automatically they're gonna run in the hole because they're very fast. They're very fast, and if they hear you, they're gone. Once you have your light and your bags, and when you enter in the bush, you go very silent, then you'll be able to get them.
How many do you believe I could catch?
Well, I believe you can catch about at least maybe 4 to 5 dozen or so.
Well, Keisha's already out of this competition. Let's get it started.
Yeah.
I got you now. I gotta pick you up and put you in a bag. You. Come here. Come here to me. Put it in the bag. Get him. Get him.
I get it.
Two other one.
Got him.
That was fun. Well, here in Cat Island, there's so much to do. The culture is so rich. There's so much to see. And there are so many more talented people. Our Charles Fisher caught up this week with a lady who is well known for making baskets here. And her craft is some of the finest you'll find.
It's a tradition passed down for generations on most family islands, and here on Cat Island, Catechist Poloneva Hunter is weaving shoulder baskets, good for crabs, peas, and beans.
I was doing this from a little girl. My parents done teach me how to do it. Some people live off this, build houses and things. But I love to farm sometimes. I farm, and then when I get a little spare time to keep me going, I just plot or I just move around doing things. But someone asked me to do this for them, so I doing it. Just keep you going.
She's in her mid-70s and has been doing this for quite some time. Her lifestyle is key to her longevity.
In the ocean, come home, go to work. I work at Hawk Nest, cook. My days off, I go in my farm, raise my bean, sweet potatoes, etc., watermelon.
Cat Island has been a home for all her life.
Yeah, I live in Cat Island. I go to Nassau, go on boat cruise. Go visit my family, them, all over the place in the U.S.
The mother of 7 kids, family is her heart.
They'll be home like during the holiday time. And then we get together on Mother's Day and any holiday we get together. We all have food, eat together and everything, have a good time. Birthdays, like I had my birthday in October. They all came home. There's a little place down the road called the Deep South Movement. That yard was packed. A lot of people there.
For the morning edition in Cat Island.
All right, the sun is coming up, it's warming up. The ocean looks tempting. Have you taken a dip yet?
Show those persons your nails, though. I want to see how many crabs bit through the other. that's what everybody wants to see. You went into the healing pond, and then the other day I told you you were looking young again, but you've been eating all that jam and good stewed fish and all that stuff. Now you're looking a little older.
I'm looking older? No, I feel refreshed. I feel revived. Cat Island will do that for you. What's coming up in sports?
This is a lovely place. Well, coming up in sports, we're going to take a little small trip down to Peru. The tennis boys were in action yesterday, and we're going to give you some of those results.
All right, stay tuned. Sports is next.
Explore the world of agriculture with us. Join me, your host, Carla Palmer, for continued adventures in agriculture and the marine environment as we head into Season 2 of the program, Agriculture Now. That's Agriculture Now, moving to a new date and time, Wednesdays at 8 p.m. and Saturdays at 9 a.m., right here on the ZNS Television Network.
What you cooking? Something good.
Welcome to another episode of What You Cooking.
So today we have a braised rosemary lamb with an avocado salad and a roasted garlic mashed potato.
Plants naturally produce compounds that are very healthy for us.
What you cooking? Something good.
You thought it was the talk of the town, but get ready for more.
More energy, more excitement, exhilarating, compelling, informative, educational talk on The Conversation.
I'm Shanique Miller. Pull up a chair with a cup of tea and join me weekdays at 4 on Radio Bahamas, 1540 AM, 104.5 FM, and The Light, 810 AM for The Conversation. I'm excited to have you around the table.
Once again, welcome to Cat Island, a very short sport. It's all about Cat Island, but over there in Peru yesterday, the Pan Am Games, both Justin Roberts and Baker Newman. Moving on to the second round of singles now. Both will be in action today. They'll also be playing doubles against a team from Argentina. Also coming up later on this evening, John Crowell Jones and the Connecticut Sun after the WNBA All-Star break. They'll take their 13-6 league leading record at home against the Chicago Sky. Well, regardless of all this weekend, and if you folks know, I'm training for the 2020 Olympics in Tokyo. The triathlon is my competition, so I'm going to get us started off with training. I'm going to jump in the water.
When I was small, Uncle Jerome used to come by to help me with my homework. He'd take me out for ice cream and ask me to sit on his lap. It felt uncomfortable, but I couldn't tell Auntie Candace. She might get mad at me.
Let's talk. Call the Bahamas Crisis Center's free 24-hour hotline at 328-0922. Sometimes a conversation can change a life.
It's the OT with yours truly, Charles Fisher.
Buddy Hield and the Kings have their...
Buddy Hield seemed to be having the best season of his career. He had 32 points the other night. It was a bit disappointing, Shawnee Miller not winning the IAAF World Female Athlete of the Year. The high school rankings will soon be out. Tabernacle, the defending champion, CC Sweeting, they are always there. Who will it be this year? Each Monday on 1540 AM and 104.5 FM, it's the OT with yours truly, Charles Fisher.
All right, that half hour went by fast, but we got to plan our day. We're going to see the swimming pigs, or?
We're going to see the swimming pigs. We're going to give you more from Cat Island, so stay tuned for that. And we're going to eat.
Of course. Of course, that goes without saying. We're going to eat good too. And we're going to share it with you. Be sure to tune into the morning edition all week long. Still 3 days to go. It's going to be fun. Thanks so much for tuning in this morning. Have a great day.